This is the last program. We created a simple calculator by using which one frame. Now I'm going to create another example by using what text field, that is called taking username and password and check that that username and password is valid or invalid. That simple example I'm going to create. For this purpose, we required two text boxes, one for the username, other for the what password, and one button that is called which one check or login button, and one label that will display the result. So first of all, these two text field already present here. Label is already present. Remove all buttons. I don't require rest of the button. I record only one button. So remove these buttons. Here, just write down the message or label on the button that is called login or check. Doesn't matter. Then remove these add methods. Then remove registration because rest of the buttons are not present. Okay. Now check out here. One button, one label, two text boxes. And what happened here, first text box is added, then second text box, then third text box, button. Okay, so when I execute this one, check out how it looks like. Okay, so check out, this is the first text box that consists of username. Suppose I will enter username here, then I will enter password here, but password must not be visible. So again, I'm going to close this one. Here password is visible, but actual in practical situation, password must not be visible. Instead of password, we must see star. Okay, so for this purpose, go back to here and simply write down T2, that is the second text box, dot set echo char. The name of the method is equals to which one? Set echo char in bracket. Specify the character you want to display instead of the password. Here I'm writing set echo char is equals to star, means instead of character, star is displayed. So when I execute this one again, check out here, enter something, enter something. Now what, instead of that password, you cannot view the password, star is displayed. So that is called what? Echo character, set echo character, hide the character typed by the user. Okay, now what I want to do, I don't want to take the integer value, so remove all the code. This code is not required. Okay, that's it. Now here, check out get action command. So which button is clicked? Now there is no need of this one because only one button is present. If on your form only one button is present, then there is no need to call get action command, because you know when user click only one button event is generated. So there is no need to call the get action command. Call get action command only when we have multiple buttons on the form. Right now we have only one button. So simply write down your logic, whatever the logic. For example, I'm going to read the username here. String username is equals to what? T1 dot get text, means what? Get the content of the first text box. Then again write down string p is equals to T2 dot get text, get the content of the second text box. Now I want to check that whether user entered proper valid username and password. I'm not comparing value to the database. I'm comparing value to the existing or what hard coded value, like this one. If what, un dot equals, the name of the method is equals in bracket abc, means if user entered abc as a username, and what, second p dot equals is equals to password is equals to xyz, then and then only that user is valid, else that user is which one, invalid. So here write down that label, set label or set text, that is called valid user, valid what, user. Here write down L1 dot set text, that is equals to what, invalid user, invalid what, user. So that's it. That is the simple what code to check that user entered valid username or password. Again remember this one, I'm not checking username and password from the database. I'm just using hard coded value, like if user entered abc as a username and xyz as a password, then that is the valid user. If user enter rest of the values, then that user is which one, invalid user. Now main method code is same, that is called create the object of which one, my frame. then called set side, that will set the size of the frame 500 by 500, 500 width, 500 height. Then set title, this is the title. Instead of this one, just write down here login page. Okay, this is the title of the page. And finally call set visible. Okay, now just right click and run the file. Now check out, if I entered a wrong username, wrong password, click on the login button, check out, it will show invalid user. Now entered ABC, that is the correct, not capital, small ABC, then password is equals to which one, XYZ. You cannot view the password. Check out here, that is called which one, valid user. Okay, so I think R is not displayed because, okay, valid user, valid user. Okay, so R is missing. So again, execute this one. Enter what, ABC, then what, XYZ. Click on the login button. That is called which one, valid user. So in this manner, you can use. This is very simple actually. This is not very practical example, but this you will get the idea how to create what username box, how to create the password box by using which one, set echo char method. Okay, so this is the simple example by using which one, text fed. Okay, now next control, that is called which one, checkbox. Now what is exactly checkbox? Checkbox is used to provide the options from which user can select or deselect. For example, I'm going to show you exactly how it looks like, but for this purpose, remove this code. I don't require text field, I require button and label control. So remove text field control, again remove this one. Okay. Now, first of all, I want to show you how exactly checkbox looks like. Okay, so here I'm going to declare three checkboxes: checkbox, checkbox C1, C2, and C3. Now, actually, checkbox is a square box, and inside that square box, you can specify the action. That checkbox may be selected or checkbox may be what, deselected. Okay, so first of all, remove this code. Okay, now create simple checkbox. First of all, that will show you exactly how checkbox looks like. C1 is equals to name of the class is equals to which one, checkbox in bracket. Okay, now you can use what, constructor. Here I forgot to write new keyword. That's why it is not showing the constructor. Checkbox in bracket. Check out, lot of constructors are available here. Now, right now I'm going to use the second constructor. This is the blank constructor. So that will create the checkbox without any label. Second constructor, that will create the checkbox with label. So I'm going to use the second constructor, like suppose I'm giving like C language, that is the what, label of the checkbox. Now add that checkbox to the frame window by using add method, add in bracket C1 and semicolon. Now just execute this one and check out how exactly checkbox looks like. So check out this square portion, that will provide the option, means what, user can select or deselect. Here I can select or I can what, deselect. Remember this one, select and which one, deselect. Okay. Now only one checkbox is present here. I can add multiple checkbox also. So how to add multiple checkboxes? Just create the multiple object here, copy, then control V, then control V, then write down what, C2, then C3. Okay, here write down CPP, that is the second checkbox, and third is which one, Java, for example. Now again call the add method. Do not forget to call add method. If we do not call the add method, that control not display on the frame window. So just save this one and run the application. Now check out how many checkboxes are there. There are three checkboxes: C, CPP, and what, Java. Three checkboxes are present here. Now checkboxes are ready. Inside this one, you can select or you can what, deselect, depending upon what your choice. Means suppose I'm giving option, select the known languages. Then user may select one language, two language, or which one, all language. Means what, it is the multi selection. So there is another control related to this one, that is called which one, radio button, that will not allow the multi selection from the group. That will allow only one selection. That control is called which one, radio button. That is the next control. But right now I'm going to explain this checkbox control, which allows the user to select or deselect the option. Right now I selected C and Java. I am not selecting which one, CPP for example. Okay, now we can check that which option is selected by user. That may be C, that may be CPP, or that may be what, Java. How many options selected by user? Now you can directly handle the event of which one, checkbox. How to handle the event of checkbox? Like to handle the event of button control, we use which one, action listener. So for every control there is what, one interface. For example, like for button, I told you, for button control we use which one, action listener interface. In the same manner, for the checkbox we use another interface. The name of the another interface is called which one, item what, listener interface, item listener interface. So this listener interface consists of one method that is called item state change. Check out here, click here, implement of abstract method. Okay, and check out which code is generated here. The name of the code is equals to which one, item state change. Means what, when I select or deselect, select or deselect means what, check out here. When I run this one, now what is the state of the this checkbox, deselected. When I select this one, now it is transferred from deselected to selected. Now what is the state of this checkbox, selected. When I select this one, deselect this one, now what is the transfer of the state, selected to what, deselected. Means what, when there is a change in a state of the checkbox control, then which event is occurred, that is called which one, item state change. Here I can write the code, whatever the code you want to execute when user select the checkbox or deselect the checkbox. Okay, now for this example, I'm going to use the paint method. Just write down public void paint in bracket what, graphics G. Okay, so I'm going to display result directly on the frame window. That's why I'm using the paint method. Now here, how to check that particular checkbox is selected or not selected? For this purpose, we use one method that is called which one, getState method. Now getState method will return true value if that checkbox is selected, otherwise it will return the false value. Means if user selected particular checkbox, like first checkbox that is represented by C1 variable, then I will call C1.getState. It will return true value if that checkbox is selected by user, otherwise it will return the false value. So here I'm going to display message by using G dot draw string in bracket. Here write down C is selected, then write down here what, plus, that is called C1. First checkbox is represented by C1, that's why I'm writing getState. Okay, so it will return true value if that is selected by user, otherwise it will return the false value. Here I'm giving the coordinate, that is X coordinate and Y coordinate. Okay, just copy this one, control V, then write down CPP, that is C++, and lastly which one, Java. Okay, now here write down getState. Instead of C1, write down which one, second text box, that is called checkbox, sorry, that is C2, and third checkbox, that is C3. Now three line will display the message whether that particular checkbox is selected or not selected. But what is the problem? Check out here. I'm using the same coordinate, XY coordinate. It will display message, overlapping message, like C is overlapped by CPP, CPP is overlapped by Java. But I don't want to display overlapping message. So change Y coordinate. Suppose instead of this one, I am writing 120. Then instead of this one, I am writing which one, 140. Okay. Now, one more thing is remaining. Already I told you many times, without registration, event handling is not possible. Just like here I am registering B1 button with the add action listener. In the same manner, you have to perform the registration of your checkbox with the item listener. So just write down C1 dot add, the name of the interface is item listener in bracket this. Again, C2 dot add item listener in bracket this, then C3 dot add item listener in bracket, sorry, item listener in bracket for this. So when I execute this one, check out here. What is the initial output? Initial output is equals to C is selected, CPP is selected, Java is selected, false, 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 because no checkboxes are selected. I selected C, CPP. Okay, one more thing is remaining. Check out here, output is not changing because I forgot to call repaint method. If we do not call the repaint method, if we do not call the repaint method inside item state change, then result will not be displayed. So right click, run the file. Now check out here. C is selected true, CPP is selected true, Java is selected true. Now I'm doing what here, check out like this one. Immediately you can see below the values of particular language changes true to false or false to true. So in this manner, which event is occurring right now, that is called which one? Item state change event is occurring. Okay, it is not compulsory to use the item state change. You can use button event also. When I click on the button, then you can call repaint method and go to the paint method and display what all values, or in practical situation, read the value of each one, read the state instead of saying value, read the state of each checkbox and stored into the database. So in this manner, you can check that particular checkbox is selected or not selected. For this purpose, we have to use the get state method. Remember this one. Okay, now I want to discuss next control, that is called radio button. What is the radio button? Radio button work in a group. Actually, it is a checkbox. But when checkbox work in a group, then it is called a radio button. For example, when we have to use the radio button, suppose in the what your application form, you are creating one application form and you want to take the gender of user, then there is only one value, that may be male or that may be what, female. Then user can select only one option. User cannot select multiple option, that is called male as well as female. So for this purpose we use which one? The radio button. Now radio button present in the circle shape, remember this one. Checkbox present in square shape and the radio button present inside which one? Circle shape. But remember, there is no separate class that is called radio button with the name of radio button. We have to use the checkbox, and when checkbox work in a group, when checkbox work in a group, then it is called what? Radio button. So here I'm going to take one example. For the radio button, I'm taking only two checkboxes. I'm saying checkbox again. Remove this one. Just write down here male, then write down here what? Female. Okay, now come back here, remove this one, remove this one. Okay, save this one. Now just delete this one, last portion. Here write down male is selected, or here write down what? Female is selected. Okay, now check out here. I'm displaying what? Two checkboxes. First is called male, second is called which one? Female. Now check out here. Right now, this code allows us to select both options, that is called which one? Male as well as female. But this is not radio button, this is checkbox, because shape of the radio button is which one? Circle. Then how to convert this checkbox into the radio button? To convert this checkbox into the radio button, we use one more class. The name of the class is called which one? Checkbox group. The name of the class is called which one? Checkbox group. CG. Okay, so that class is used to specify only group. So write down CG is equals to new checkbox group. There is no parameter for the checkbox group. Now check out here. I created only object of checkbox group here. And while creating object of checkbox, I can specify this one. Check out here. I'm going to use that is called second constructor. That is called, or you can use third constructor, doesn't matter, you can use any constructor. Only parameter position is what change here. Here checkbox group is second parameter, and here checkbox group is what? Third parameter. Okay, so I'm going to use this one, CG, then true. True means what? That checkbox is, or that radio button is selected. Copy, Control V, that is called female. Here write down C2. Okay, now check out here. One point you have to remember here, both check boxes C1 and C2 has a common group. That common group is equals to what? CG. Now when checkbox work in a group, when checkbox work in a group, then it is called which one? Radio button. When we pass this parameter, then this checkbox act as a radio button. Now check out when I execute this one, what is the shape of this one? Check out the shape of this one is equals to round. And when it is round shape, then it is called which one? Checkbox. Now check out only one option is selected here, like this one. Only one option is selected. Why? Because we are using which one? Radio button. Radio button work in a group, and when we select one option, other option get deselected. Like when I select male, female deselected, and when I select female, male get deselected. So that is the working of which one? Radio button. So use radio button only when you want to select one option out of the many option. Okay, now next control I want to discuss, that it's called choice control. Choice control is also called combo box control. So it is actually drop down list like this one. Check out. So it will provide, when I click on that arrow, it will provide the list of the option, and from this list of the option I can select what? One option only. That control is called which one? Choice control. Okay, so to handle the event of choice control, we use item state change. Okay, so that is called item listener. Sorry, item state change, that is the event name, and listener name, listener interface name is equals to which one? Item listener. Remember, same interface is used for the checkbox, radio button, and which one? Your choice control also. So here I'm going to remove these controls, checkboxes. Then remove the checkbox, remove checkbox, remove. Okay, again, comment this one right now. Remove this one. Okay, now how to create the choice control? Simply by using one class, that is called choice class. C1, that is the object name. Then create the object of choice class. C1 is equals to new choice. There is no any no parameter present for the choice control. And when we add that choice control to the window, then check out what happened. So right click and run the file. Now check out, this is the choice control but empty. No item is present inside which one? Choice control. List is not present. Drop down list is not present. Now after creating the choice control, it is your responsibility to add item to the choice control. So I'm going to write down here add item to choice control. Okay, so C1 dot add in bracket, you can give any item, doesn't matter. Like I'm giving like name of the languages, for example, like what? Marathi. Then just copy this one, control C, control V, then C2, then sorry, not C2, only one checkbox choice control is present. Then second is what? Hindi, and third is called which one? English. Okay, now how many options user can view? That is called three option, that is called Marathi, Hindi and English. Suppose we are giving option, select your mother tongue, for example. Okay, in that case user can select only one option, that is Marathi, Hindi or which one? English. Okay, so check out what happened after calling these three lines. Now you can see how many options? Three options, that is called Marathi, Hindi and English. Check out, index of the first item is 0, 1, 2. Remember this one, index of the first item 0, second item 1, third item is what? 2. Then perform the registration. Do not forget to perform the registration. So here I'm going to write down C1 dot add item listener in bracket what? This. Now here just retrieve the item selected by user. How to retrieve the item selected by user? Like for example msg, or you can declare item variable is equals to C1 dot get selected item. Now retrieve the index. I is equals to C1 dot get selected index. Now check out these two methods. Get selected item. So what this method will do, it will retrieve the item selected by user. Okay, that may be Hindi, Marathi, or which one, English. What this method will do, it will retrieve the index of what, that particular item, that may be 0, 1, 2. Okay, in this manner you can retrieve item as well as which one, index. Then I can display this message on which one, your label, or I can display message directly on the form. So write down here mail is selected. Instead of this one, delete this one, write down item plus what, I. So first item is display, and secondly it will display the index of that item. So run the application. Now check out, first by default selected is Marathi, its index is equals to what, 0. When I select Hindi, when I select which one, English. So in this manner you can use a choice control to provide the list of the options from which user can select what, only one. It is like a radio button, but it will save the space. Suppose there are 4 radio buttons, and out of 4 radio buttons you want to select only one radio button. Then instead of what, giving the space for the 4 radio button, I will give the space for only one what, combo box, or you can say choice control, and from that one user can select only one item. So that is the working of which one, your choice control. Okay, now next control I want to explain, that it's called list control. So what is exactly list control? List control provide the list of the options from which user can select one or more. Okay, for this purpose I'm going to remove this one and remove unwanted, like I don't require choice control. Remove the choice control, then remove. Okay, now here I'm going to create okay, item listener. Also remove the item listener here, because we don't use item listener to handle the event of which one, list control. So save this one. Now check out list. The name of the control is equals to list. Okay, remember this one. Now here, while typing the code, you have to carefully check that it is importing a list class from the util, because we already saw inside the collection framework list class is also present, but that is present inside java.util package. And here another class is present, that is called list, but that is present inside which one, java.awt package. So just write down list L1. Okay, L1 is already present, so just write down list. Okay, small list, that is the variable name. Then create the object of list class. List is equals to new list, in bracket, check out how many parameters. Okay, I'm going to use the last constructor, because the purpose of the list is what, multi-selection. Okay, and last constructor allows us to specify whether your list control support the multi-selection or not. If I use the first or second constructor, then multi-selection is not supported. If I use the last constructor, check out number of option visible. For example, I'm writing like 3, and here what, true indicate multi-selection is possible, false indicate multi-selection is not possible. Now, what is the meaning of this 3? I'm going to explain this one. But before that, now check out when I add this list control to the frame window, then no item is present inside the list control by default. Check out here, it is empty. Now add some item to the list control. First, how to add some some item to the list control? So just write down here, add item to list. Okay, so for this purpose I'm going to write down list dot add, in bracket, first item, that is called A. I'm just using random data. Copy, control V, control V, control V. There are 4 items, that is called B, C, and lastly which one, D. Okay, 4 items are present here. Now check out here, I'm adding 4 items, but while creating object of the list class, I am passing first parameter is equals to 3. This first parameter specify how many items visible to the user. Now check out, when I execute this one, how many items are visible to the user? 3 items, but actually how many items present inside this one? 4 items are present. So that is called the first parameter. 3, suppose I write 2 here, total 4 items are present here. Check out 4 items, but how many visible to the user? Visible to the user is equals to which one? Only 2. Okay, check out this one. That is the first parameter. And what is the second parameter? Second parameter specify whether you're selecting multiple items or not. If that parameter is true, then you can select the multiple item. If that parameter is false, then you cannot select the multiple item. Okay, now when I click on the button, just remove this one login, just write down okay. When I click on the OK button, then control transfer to the action perform. Now here I'm going to write list dot get selected. Okay, selected item. Now check out, there are two methods. First is called get selected item only, that will retrieve only one item selected by the user, and second is called items get selected item, that will retrieve the all items selected by user. So I'm going to use the second method, get selected item, because this is the multi selection list. Check out the return type. Return type is equals to string array. So just write down here string ARR opening closing square bracket. So all the items selected by user stored inside which array, that is called ARR. That may be one item, that may be two item, that may be three item. Now retrieve all items and display or attach these items to the MSG variable. So for this purpose, I'm going to use for loop. So just write down here MSG plus is equals to what? Yes. Okay. So that will concat what? All items separated by comma. And finally, display all item into the label L1 dot set text, that is called image. Okay. So meaning is what? When I click on the button, check out, just format this one little bit. Okay. So when I execute this one, check out, I can select what? Multiple item, and click OK button. Two items are selected. Now instead of visible 2, change this parameter, that is visible 4, for example. All parameters are visible. Now check out, all 4 items are visible. I can select 2, I can select 4, I can select 3. Suppose I selected A, B, D, C is not selected. Check out, A, B, D is selected. If I selected all item, A, B, C, D selected. If I selected again 2 item, A, D item is selected. Means what? Inside this control, list control, you can select one item or multiple item. That is called which one? Multi selection list. Now there is another method is also present. So just comment this one. Here, check out another method I want to explain you, that is called get selected indexes. So what is this exactly, get selected indexes? Then this method will return the integer array. Just write down int ARR is equals to that is called list dot get selected what? Indexes, get selected indexes. Then here just put down the for loop, and inside this for loop, same code, like I want to display only indices of the selected item, then declared what? MSG variable, and write down here MSG plus is equals to double quote comma plus what? I. Okay, so here just write down L1 dot set index, and that's it. So when I run this one, I selected suppose 3 items. Check out 0, 2, 3. 1 is not selected. That's why it is giving index of the selected item. Okay, so in this manner you can either select the item selected by user, or you can use what? Selected indices, means what? You can get the indices of the selected item. So this is the working of which one? your lease control.